Help support AMTV by becoming a patron, an AMTV staff member, and following us over on Twitter. As someone who enjoys television presentation, one of the things I look forward to the most each year are the Christmas idents that are issued out by broadcasters, particularly BBC One. Ever since the late 1960s, BBC One has treated us to an original, unique Christmas-themed ident nearly each and every year. Like anything, there's been some high highs and some low lows, but the tradition of seeing the new Christmas ident on the channel truly helps me get into the Christmas spirit. During the 2020s, we've seen a good run of sequences often featuring animated characters, normally ones from that year's premiere film. After last year, where everyone's favourite duo of Wallace and Gromit graced our screens once again in some stellar works, how on earth is 2025 going to follow it? Well, we're about to find out. The premiere film this year is The Scarecrow's Wedding, adapted from the children's picture book by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. They will feature in their own ident, but we also have two new sequences featuring some of the other famous characters from these animations, created by Magic Light Pictures. But let's look at the first one, which we'll call Snowball Fight. A wholesome way to start things off. We see the Gruffalo and their child messing around with snowballs. When the child seems deflated that they can't throw them very well, their dad shows them how it's done. In the process though, the snowball lands on Stickman, who's out on a wintry walk with his family. Ignoring basic physics and the fact the snowball would have snapped him in half, Stickman laughs it off, as do his family. We return to see the Gruffalos going back and forth, this likely being the placeholder for the continuity announcer to start talking. To start off with the good, as always, Magic Light do a wonderful job in animating and bringing these sequences to life. The animation is fluid and smooth, and the characters look great. The wholesome vibes are definitely what you'd expect and want from a Christmas ident featuring characters such as this. But alas, I do have some criticisms. We have seen the Gruffalos and Stickman on Christmas idents before, just a couple of years ago in fact. And whilst that isn't inherently a problem, I do feel a longer gap may have helped newer sequences featuring the characters feel a bit more fresh. Also, outside of the snowball landing on Stickman, the sequence just sort of stops, with the Gruffalos going back and forth with snowballs being the sole thing to look at. And honestly, it grows old pretty quickly. Other festive idents from this decade also stopped, so to speak, but there were many more details to keep an eye out for. Oh look, Feathers McGraw. With this one, whilst the landscape looks lovely, beyond the main activity, there's not much else. A good start for the year nonetheless, but I can't help feel like something is missing. Let's see if we find it in our next ident today, the Christmas tree.
Ooh.
Another fun little scene. We see Zog has found themselves a Christmas tree, and whilst going off to retrieve the decorations, Witch from Room on the Broom assesses the situation. Deciding that some magic is needed, they cast a spell to adorn the tree with candles, baubles, and even a tree topper. Zog returns, albeit confused, but his friends Pearl and Gadabout are on hand to encourage him to finish decorating the tree. Doing so earns Zog a round of applause, which seems like a massive deal given the reaction of these two, and our Christmas scene is therefore complete. There's definitely more going on here than the first one, which I enjoy. The more details there are, even in small gestures and actions, can go a long way for a festive ident in my view. Once again, the animation is gorgeous and the music is as magical and as festive as you'd want it to be. My only drawback is that Pearl and Gadabout just seem to be, well, there? I haven't seen the Zog film, so maybe this is in keeping with how they act in that, but I don't know, I just feel like their presence wasn't majorly necessary. Why not have the witch return? To see Zog complete the tree, with a wink to the viewer that they were the ones behind the magic? I mean, it's more personal preference, it's certainly not a bad ident, and whilst it has more than the one with the Gruffalos, I still can't help but feel that that little something is still missing. We have one more new ident to cover, this one starring the leads of the brand new animated premiere for BBC One, The Scarecrow's Wedding. So sit back, relax, and let's take a look. Definitely my favourite story of the three. We see Santa on his big night being stopped by a cat. Now, is this a little cameo from Tabby McTat? However, he notices two scarecrows and decides they too should have something to open on Christmas. Coming alive, the male scarecrow, Harry O'Hay, opens the gift to reveal a set of light-up reindeer antlers and a Santa hat, which he shares with his love, Betty O'Barley. Delighted with the gifts, the two join hands, which becomes the setting for the rest of the sequence. It may seem overtly simple, but what I like about this over the Gruffalos variant is what it represents. Giving and receiving gifts and sharing it with those that you love are some of the most fundamental factors that make up Christmas. Even though they're animated scarecrows, seeing the pair so delighted with their gifts not only lends itself to their story, but it also mirrors what will be going on for millions all across the world. It's certainly not the most elaborate Christmas ident, and far from the best one. However, out of the three that have been bestowed on BBC One for 2025, it's easily my favourite. Overall, are these three new festive sequences from BBC One bad? No, certainly not. They're very well produced and animated, the musical scores for all three are gorgeous, and the presence of such well-known and loved children's characters is bound to place a smile on many faces throughout December. But for me, with how similar in both style and approach they are to what we got in 2023, combined with some sparse-looking environments and some missed opportunities, unfortunately, this set for 2025 doesn't come anywhere close to being a favourite for me. It was always going to be difficult to top the efforts seen by Aardman in 2024, and even in 2021 with Shaun the Sheep and Company. Perhaps it's just a preference on style, but fundamentally, this set just doesn't set that spark ablaze for me. I'm sure though it's going to have many fans, and many who are going to sit down to watch the animated films that these characters spawn from, all of which are going to be shown at some time over the Christmas period. They may not be instant classics, but the three idents that make up BBC One's Christmas for 2025 all achieve the primary aim of both evoking the spirit of Christmas and providing audiences with a wholesome, charming, and fun little scene for viewers and their families to enjoy again and again throughout the Christmas season. Thank you to our patrons for helping to support the show, and a special thank you to Macra, Sean Knock, Dord Khan, Ethan Carberry-Holt, Liam Domain, AJ Mac 200017, Jen, Traffy, Mr. Eurovision 1986, Evan Hart 42 Radio, Tim Ripley, 40-something Manchild, Mr. J McLeod, James Wallace, Ben, Stephen Oliver, Shadowfiend 180X, Swan Ronson, Adam Gamer, Sir Fonzie Daz, Matthew Elliff, Pigeon's House, Seraphic Euphoria, Dave Batten, Kevin Mallon, Shah H, Liam Turner, Real Team Foxy Plays, Jenny T, Lovely Dave and Gem, Tyler McLean 316, NJ on DT84, Jimmy the Bantam, and the Macabre Tavern are AMTV staff members.